G'day folks, and welcome back to the channel for episode number 28 of my Gunslinger Purifier playthrough, where last episode we finished up Ashes of Malmouth, we took down Theoden, killed the council, did the Black Iron Docks, all the fun stuff. And I was pretty much ready to call it quits there, just put this character into farming mode, farm up a bunch of gear, and come back with a fully done character, and then just crush Forgotten Gods. But at the end of the last episode, I talked myself into doing Forgotten Gods. So we're going to go do that. However, before then, I did also get to Revered with the City of Malmouth, or the Resistance rather, which gives me access to the XP potions, which I've got 3. I think that should be enough to get to 100. It'll be fine. So I'm going to use those for the last 10 levels, or until I've used the 3, whichever happens last. And also gave access to this augment as well. Now, this is flat fire damage as well as percentage fire damage as well as percentage offensive ability, which are all things I really, really like. But if you remember, over here, the Arcovian Rose Powder at the bottom there is actually giving me 10% elemental resistance, which I need in order to have capped cold res. But I also haven't really used any augments on my armor, so I went and found this one from the Coven of Ugdenbog, who we also have Revered with, and I'm just going to chuck 2 of those on there, and now I can replace all of these, and I will still have capped resistances. Now, I actually think I'm going to go get another 2 or 3 of those, because I don't really need any other augments on any of my armor. Ooh, actually, 3111. That rigid shell has to come off. Can I make an Ugdenbog leather, I think it is? Ugdenbog leather? I don't have enough Ugden blooms. Well, I'm not going to do a farming episode here, so we're just going to leave that for now. However, where are we? Coven's Refuge. I will chuck a couple more elemental resistance augments on, just because there is a lot of elemental damage that comes in Forgotten Gods. And where is it? 1, 2, we'll put 3 more on, why not? 1, 2, and 3. And there is also the Wraiths, which are going to shred your resistances. And I don't want to go negative in elemental resistances in an area where there is actually a decent amount of it around. Bleeding and vitality, not quite so much, but probably still some. Okay, with that said, let's go and talk to the Emissary over here. Or I guess we'll take the portal. Probably spoke to him at some point. In fact, I remember doing it, I just can't remember why. There was something in here. I think I wanted to talk to the Soleil guy here. In terms of which faction we're going to be picking, honestly it doesn't matter too much. So we picked Soleil in normal, and then we didn't do anything in elite. So I think I'm going to do Bismail in ultimate, and then I may go back to elite just to do the Cult of Drieg. Though, let's be honest, I'm probably not going to. I'll probably just farm bosses to get the reputation I need. However, let's get started. We'll take on Old Mate's challenge here. Inventory is it's under control. Let's use a potion and let's get on with it. So, we can take these guys out pretty easily. Nothing here should be too threatening. Even these 3 or 4 heroes should go down pretty quickly. I'm in ultimate. Yeah, I'm in ultimate. Okay. And I guess I'll pick these up to sell just so they're not sitting in the middle of the area. And that's probably far enough. We will be going back over there. Alright, so we talked to Old Mate here. Why'd you bring me here? I'll speak with them. Yep. Take the rift back down to our personal rift, and we'll go talk to Bismail. Now, you can talk to Soleil again. If you want to do Soleil on every difficulty, it's fine, you can do it. You'll just have to farm reputation for Bismail and Drieg. I like to do each of them once. And I like to do Bismail on ultimate if I can, because Bismail is considerably faster than the other ones. Just in terms of quests and where you have to go, Bismail is the fastest. If you do Bismail on normal, it could be worth actually stocking up on the quest items, so the blood of the Watchers and then the heart of whatever the big doggy is called. You can stock up on those by just doing the quest 3 times, and you can just turn them in straight away. As soon as you talk to them, you can go, oh, I've got these blood of the Watchers from normal, here you go, quest complete. And then you end up doing just basically a run through the area. If you don't need the devotion shrines, then there's really no need to go into any of the areas that the quests take you to. So that's one... I won't say it's a good way to skip the content, because if you're skipping the content, why are you playing the game? Just go do something else. But it is something you can do to save a bit of time. Which, I mean, again, if you're super worried about saving time, why are you playing computer games? Alright, let's kill a few of these, just because. Got a couple of heroes here, actually. So we got Noel here, there's another guy just above me. Noel's dead, there's level 71. Levels should be coming a little bit quicker now, just because of the XP potion. There we go. In terms of things I'm worried about in Forgotten Gods, there really isn't much until we get to the end. The messenger can be a little tricky sometimes, but usually he's fine. The, what's his name? Father Kaiman is an absolute beast, and you really have to be careful of him. And Korvac is also potentially a little bit rippy, but the rest, kind of not so much. So I guess the thing I'm mostly worried about is the wraiths that are going to shred all my resistances in the middle of huge packs of elemental damage dealing enemies. That's honestly the only things that I'm really worried about for Forgotten Gods. And I think that's a big part of why I ended up deciding to do this instead of just going straight into farming now. Because I absolutely could. And there's really nothing to be gained from doing this now instead of later when I have much better gear. Aside from... I guess why not, really? Aside from a little bit of extra content, I guess. It's probably the best argument for this that I have. Right, so we'll grab that. Now, you can go into the Temple of Osea, you can get some Blood of the Watchers from there, and do that whole little dungeon, but I don't need the Devotion Shrine. I get loot from everywhere, and it's kind of just... I mean, I won't say it's not worth, but it's kind of not worth, if that makes sense. So we're going to just leave that alone. I will come down here and realize I'm in the wrong area, head back up. But again, the little hidden area that's back here, head down there. It's a devotion shrine and a ring that gives XP and not much else. So, like, there's no point going down there either. There is a point to coming down here, which is, well, A, the totem, but also the quest that's down here. Because we do still want reputation. However, that's a lot of heroes. Let's see how this goes. Turn that loot off. I did see at least one blueprint, so we got at least one item that's useful. Or hopefully useful. Reflecting is annoying, but not particularly dangerous, and we're done. What do we win? Obsidian Juggernaut, the Storm Serpent Mask, Mythical Wrathmorn, Mythical Bounty Hunters, Shoulder Guard, Ixilor's Rage Flame, which is an offhand, which means we're not using that, Orwell's Revolver, which was one of the guns that I was looking at previously, because it does lightning damage. I was looking at maybe changing to lightning at one point with this build, and yeah, no. No. You think fire pistols are bad when it comes to support while leveling. Lightning has somehow managed to be even worse. I don't know, maybe the devotions are better, but I don't think so. The Widow is horrible, although Altos is good. We don't have Altos, do we? No, we'll be getting Altos in the final build. But for now we don't have Altos. Okay, that's fine. Did we luck out? Did we get to summon Kalagadra? Not from this chest. That's alright. I don't think we can kill Kalagadra at this point. Alright, so we'll move through here. I'll kill the Titan, the Corvin Titanivore, why not? Big meaty lizard, we can take him out. Exalted Stash here. I think this is the only place this one spawns. It's the only place I ever see it, but I don't typically go looking for it either. Here we go. Thought I saw an aura. Thought I saw my health bar disappear there for a second. Came back pretty quick, but definitely went away for a second. Not sure what that would have been, actually. I know what this is, though. Let's just turn the loot off again, just so I can see what's going on, but looks like it's probably fine. There we go, Dark Flame Chest Guard. Is this something I'm interested in? Downgrade on armor, downgrade on Phys Res. Does have some piercing and elemental. Nah, not really. It's not awful, but it's also not very good. This one, just eat that and eat that one. This one is interesting. So, I do like this ring set. The Sapphire and the Ruby of Elemental Balance. I do like them, but the proc they do, if it touches a wall, it just stops. Because it's kind of a spiral that gets bigger and goes out from the character. But if it runs into, like, a crate on the floor, then it goes away. Any kind of terrain that it impacts just ends the proc. So, it looks very, very pretty. But you really have to be careful not to be standing anywhere near any kind of walls, any kind of, like, pillar or anything like that. Otherwise, it just kind of stops. So, excuse me, while I do think that they are decent procs, I also think they kind of crippled... Oh, hang on a second. Let's just stand in the seal this time. Yeah, I do think it's a good set item, a good set with good good damage and such, but it just crippled by that running into walls thing. I'm just checking if Blast Shield triggered. I saw a lot of kind of shieldy looking things. Doesn't look like Blast Shield did trigger, so we were fine. Alright, Titan, Ovor is dead. A couple of heroes here, a Regenerator and Zartox. So Regenerator, if we can get the proc from the amulet on him, he'll stop regenerating. I don't know if it actually proc there, I didn't see it. But he's dead, so that's good. Now, coming through this section, there is a really nice helmet just around the corner here. For just about anyone, this helmet would be good. There are obviously better options depending on your build. But Orb of the Black Flame? That would be useful for the next character I'm making. Shame I do solely self-found though. Yeah, so there's a helmet just over here. Let's grab this first. And this helmet, like I said, is good for every build. It's not there, is it? It's up here. Good for every build in the game, but there may be better ones for you. And this helmet has +1 to all skills, so it doesn't matter what masteries you're using, you get +1 to everything. And some life, and I think it's got okay resistances, although not much. But yeah, it's the Fetid Mask, and there's an elite version of this as well, which has less stats, but still the +1 to all skills. Now, I'm not going to use this because the MI I'm using is better, but if your build doesn't have an MI that's really good for it, this mask is quite good for every character. If I was using it, we get +1 to all of this stuff. Do I actually have anything that's capped? I don't think so. This is probably the closest. What about Inquisitor? Yeah, nothing is actually capped, so I would be getting something along the lines of another 20 levels worth of skill points if I use that helmet, which is good for everyone. But, like I said, there may be a hat that's better, but that helmet is always there, easily targetable, and good for every build. Right, now that we've made it to the docks, there's a couple things I'm looking for here. And they all come with a star on the map. So if I don't see a star on the map, kind of not interested. I'm expecting them, there's one. I'm expecting them sort of towards the back of the map. That is the Watchers here. The Animated Watcher, Infused Animated Watchers specifically. There'll be at least one more up here. Where are you? Yep, there he is. And this is how I do the Bismail quests. I'll just come through here, kill these two, and there's another one sort of over towards the east, which is where we're going anyway. Since we're here, I may as well do this totem. And since we're here, I may as well do the Devotion Shrine, which is right there. So let's turn the loot off. What do we got? It's an Arcane. Try and get rid of him quickly. Oh, he's still there. There we go. I think he's actually dead this time. Okay, so everybody's dead. What did we win? Flamekeeper's Jacket, Dager's Hood, Warmonger's Spaulders, and not much is the answer. Yeah, it's kind of so-so. You guys really don't like it. Alright, we'll do this fight as well. Now these guys, there's usually 3 of these that spawn here. One of them's a healer that is just really obnoxious to kill. I didn't get that pack this time, which is good. I'm checking up here because, well, one, it's on the way to where I want to go, and also because there is a potential Celestial Trove, or whatever it's called, that can spawn there. So you can get the item that you can spawn Kalagadra with. Which, even though I'm not planning on fighting her anytime soon, you know, one day. It's an opulent chest. And I was just about to pick this up as well. Alright, that's our 3 bloods done. We'll kill this guy, Vlakinax. This might actually be the healer I was talking about. On his own, he's no big deal, but when he's got 2 or 3 other heroes with him. Okay, there's another Watcher. We're just going to run straight past all these guys, get to the next rift, and then go back to town. Now, actually, we'll keep going for a little bit further. So this is not really a speedrun of Forgotten Gods, but it kind of is. Because we're kind of at the end, and not much of this stuff is actually useful for us anymore. I'm just going over here to get the... actually, let's drop a rift there, and we'll come back. I do want to get the item for transmuting. And obviously I want to shoot everything I can. Anything with a star above its head, absolutely going to kill it. Okay. So here is... just up here, where are you? There he is. This is the quest item you need to unlock transmuting at the inventor. So the tome of, was that Eonatum or something? That's the quest item you need. You can find it just here on the map. I realize the map is not particularly uncovered at the moment, but
that skill's not ready.
I'm sure you'll be able to find it from that. Alright, I think that's probably a big enough pack that we can start shooting some of this stuff. There we go. And then everybody was dead. Okay, Rift achieved. Let's go back to town. And we'll turn in these 3 bloods. And then they'll open a portal for us to do. We'll go do that. And actually, while we're here... let me see. I don't want any of this stuff. There we go. What was that, actually? This one here. Ixalar's Rage Flame. I was looking at it because it's fire. Flames of Ignifar, yeah. More of a Mage Hunter, Flames of Ignifar build. Alright. So 1 quest complete. Time for another.
Were you successful?
Is this what you seek? Okay, and we'll track down this creature. Now, the creature is in this little portal here, and he's at the end. So, we can pretty much just, again, ignore all this. You can go get that if you want to. You know what? I will. There's a chest there as well. Not a chest. That's fine. So this area is kind of a mini pocket dimension. And it's quite short, so you basically just run to the end, kill the boss, grab the thingy drops, and you're done. Who are you? Nosferantus Necromancer. Lovely. 2-handed gun. I can't complain about that anymore. I did pick up a Dagalon's pistol, I picked up several fire pistols. And they're actually on the right character now, so I definitely can't complain about that anymore. It only took 90 levels, but we did eventually get we did get the fire pistols on the fire pistol character. 2 more skill points. Let's go ahead and chuck them into Brimstone. So that's now maxed. What do we do now? Temper? Can we get any offensive ability from any of our buffs? Does this give away? Gives total speed, so we'll take that. Plus 1% total speed. Why not? And we're going to have, what, 8 more points? 8 more skill points available. And at this point, the build is basically done. Let's be honest, nothing's going to change with 8 skill points. So I'll probably end up putting them in one of the buffs. You can see the boss there. Galfang. Big angry doggy. Breath weapon looks like cold. Maybe vitality, but definitely cold. And down he goes. So Galfang's core is the thing we were sent here to get. And we can just leave now. But there is this chest over here. Which didn't really drop anything. Okay, so mission complete. Let's go turn that in.
Well, was the Eldritch, I believe.
And now our mission is just to get to the next area.
See what's left of my wares. Put it to good use.
Which is actually pretty easy. Now, there are other quests here, like this guy, Carmack, wants to know about the Maw of Enat. There's Old Mate up here, wants to give you free items and then extort you later. There's Anorak down here, who wants you to find his dead brothers. Did I grab that quest? I did. I'll have to do that at some point. Not now, but at some point. We're going to ignore all of that. I'm going to see if I can get to Korvac in under an hour. So, let's go. There is also, just here, a little secret area, which has a smith in it. Has a smith in it? Where's the smith? I swear this area had a smith in it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm misremembering. I thought there was a smith there. Turns out it was just loot. Either way, nice little secret area for some freebies. Let's kill Ganavakar just because he has a cool name. Also, there's a totem here, so we'll do that too. Why not? Is that? Nope. So Ganavakar kind of runs around in this area, runs around in a big circle around the outside of this area. So he may be along shortly while I'm busy fighting this totem, but we'll see. We can kill off these scorpions, no problems at all. There we go, everybody's dead. And what did we win? Blood Fury Spaulders, Thorn Girdle of the Misty Glaive, the Amarastan Sigil, the Nimble Crest, the Conduit, and the Interrogator. So, not really anything I'm planning on using. Let's move on. Okay, Ganavakar. Let's go backwards around his little running path, and there he is. So he definitely books it. I was hoping to dodge that. That's how you should dodge it. To the side. Okay, Guillotine and Poison Ganavakar's of Venom. Or of the Venom Claw. This is a really good weapon if you are doing a Poison Dervish and you're dual wielding. One of the first characters I actually made on this channel used 2 of this weapon while leveling, and then died to Celestial Totems, but we won't talk about that. But really good ammo. Really easy to farm too. The guy who drops it is quite near to a rift gate, so you can kill him and reset and kill him and reset. Takes about a minute. Yeah, really, really good. Let's take this guy out. Now, somewhere along the edge of one of these areas is a little place you can kind of walk down inside. Don't think it's going to be this one. Doesn't look like it. It's along the sort of the top right edge. Just remember that from when I found it. I don't think it's this one though. Alright, let's head out. Just adjust the seat a little bit. Creaking a bit. Are we going to get... Is it Galfang or Galifax or whatever his name is? The other big dog? Doesn't look like he's home today. Or at least not here. We'll probably run into him later. Actually, I'm gonna double back, why not? So he has another spawn point over here, along the bottom. Just down here in this bottom corner, there he is. So I would have completely missed out on killing him. Grimoire. This guy. He hasn't really dropped much of anything. But there is also a camp here with a lore note. These lore notes are also decent. They kind of explain... Well, they are the setup for the Tomb of Morganeth. The Tomb of... is it Tomb of the Magi? Morganeth's Folly? Tomb of the Heretic. There we go. I think Morganeth's Folly is one of the areas inside. But these lore notes, and there's a few different series of lore notes around here, which kind of explain the setup for that dungeon, which, if you haven't read, I recommend reading them. They're decent. Not amazing, not as good as the Trip South, but they are pretty good. Alright, I'm going to sell these. I don't really want any of this. Hang on to that, though. Buy Scylla is the quest you need to do, so we will do that. I'm also going to pick up the quest for the messenger. And also the quest to eliminate the big scorpion dude whose name escapes me at the moment. Let's take out knife hands here, and we'll be on our way. Now, there is an exalted chest in here, or in this area, so I'm gonna go get that, assuming I can find it. I think there's only 1 or 2 places it can be. There's also some hidden loot sort of up here, which I'm not gonna go get. I'm already too far past it. Alright, exalted chest? Exalted chest? Exalted Chest? No. That's alright. There's another couple of spots it could be, or I'll just get it next time. I'm honestly not too worried about Exalted Chests when totems exist. Ancient Eldritch. Okay, this one's going to be a fight. Let's get over here. So we've got way too much loot. I was going to say, I've got the thermite mines down. I'm in my my circle of you can't kill me. And everybody's dead. Lovely. So I heard a purple hit the floor, as well as a couple of blues. What do we got? Combustion Band. Alright, we are wearing this. This is one of the better rings. I need to figure out a way of putting this on. So +2 to Fire Strike, but it's mostly for the proc there with the fire resistance shredding on it. So need to find a way to put that on. Stoneplate Greaves are one of the better end game boots. Obviously going to cost you a fortune to craft them. Storm Charged of Thunder is not horrible for this, but it's also not amazing. But. Vitality is now uncapped. Aether and Vitality are now uncapped. What did I lose? A triple rare. That one doesn't matter. Aether is fine as long as I use that. I don't know about this one. I don't know. Vitality would be fine when I put a soul shard on there. So resistances are fine as long as I don't... What am I talking about? What am I talking about? I just picked up a ring with elemental resistance, which means I don't need... Where's my lowest one? 59. Okay. So I can afford to lose all of those augments. Where is the outcast? Oh, she doesn't like us. Okay. I won't go and ask her for augments then. Where are we? This one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. So, you get one, everybody gets an augment. There we go. So Elemental, still decently overcapped. And Aether is now fine. And more than fine. Okay, so we can do that. Excellent. I do, however, need to go back to the Mammoth Resistance.
That skill's not ready.
And get myself another one of those augments. And then we are good to go. So that minus 8% fire resistance shredding doesn't seem like it's huge. But, I mean, kind of trust me that it's huge. Here we go. So with all of our fire resistance shredding, we're going to be taking things into the negative, more than likely. What have we actually got? It's 30-something% on... So 37 there. Another 30, so we've got 67. I think this is the only item proc that I have that shreds. But that's another 8. So what are we up to? What did I say? 67, so that brings us to 75. Then for devotions, there's another... that one works different, but 20% not really. I'll ignore that for now. So this brings us basically up to 100. And then this one again is another flat 120. And then this one is applied second, and it's a multiplier rather than a minus. So this one's kind of funky, but if we just ignore the Viper and we just go with our flat reductions, we're over 100. 100%. So anything that has less than 100%, anything that's not immune to fire will be taking huge amounts of extra damage. And anything that was around 80% will be reduced to about minus 20, something like that. And then 8% more shred on that means we'll be doing 28% more instead of just 20% more. So this is really, really good. And it's, you know, it's an extra damage proc as well. It's quite good. Anyway, enough of my gushing about that. We've got an XP pot ticking. We've got Not really a challenge, but the idea that maybe I can get to Korvac. Let's see if I can do it. I'm actually not confident that I'll get to Korvac this episode, but maybe we do a little bit longer episode. We'll see how close I am in sort of 15, 20 minutes. Alright, here is the Celestial Chest. There's the Celestial Essence. Where is it? This one. So this will let me summon Kalagadra, who will promptly tear my face off. I'm not planning on summoning her anytime soon. But if I wanted to, I now could. So that chest has something like 50 different spawning locations all through this entire act. So it can spawn not anywhere, it has set locations, but there's a lot of set locations and they are all through the Forgotten Gods area. So if you need one of those, it can be somewhat difficult to find. Double Seal of Ancestry and a double rare as well. Seal of Ancestry is the one I use on pets, basically. Although, there's no real need for that. It's more of a defensive one, whereas the Seal of Annihilation is more offensive. As far as items go, didn't really pick anything up there that I'm horribly interested in. We'll leave that. Hang on, there's another spoils chest there. I don't know that that actually dropped anything. Okay, this is one of the noteworthy fights in this expansion, because this guy gives you a massive chunk of a reputation for all three of the witch gods, and this guy does, and the other guy who's same as that on the other side does. And I just pulled two of these at once, which is really not good. So let's not get hit by that. There we go. Nemesis Relic, not going to be used. Neither is that book. Alright, but you can see in the text that sort of flashes by here, 75 reputation with Bismail, 75 with Dreeg. Do I have the merit? I do, so 112 with Soleil. So once we get to... where are we? We're up the top here, aren't we? Okay, Bismail right now, actually. We can go get the writ for Bismail. So we came here to summon this guy. I'm going to poke my head out the back door and grab the rift gate. Then we're going to go talk to the Bismail vendor and pick up the writ. Are they called writs? Merits? Whatever it's called. The thing that gives me more reputation with Bismail. I think it's a writ. Merits are these things.
Come see what's left of my wares.
Yeah, save is merit. Basically use this to sort of give yourself a better start. You give this to your alts through the shared stash, and then it gives them access to all the difficulty, all the rift gates, any attribute and skill quest rewards, and all of these bonus bags. So if you want to play alts that way, you can do it.
Come see what's left of my wares.
I obviously prefer not to. Alright, writ of Bismail. And then these ones, the mandates, are writs that you can transfer. Obviously, by the time you can buy this, you don't need this on the character that bought it, so it's kind of no point having them except for sharing for alts. Right. Back to... Why am I running? Back to the Vanguard with the 3. We'll talk to Bysilla, who is right here.
The witch gods are united.
And okay, let's agree to lead the assault. We got an Eldritch Essence and something else there. Not sure. Anyway, let's go for a bit of a run. How did I not pick that up and then click? Sometimes I swear I shoot myself in the foot more than the enemy does. Well, as long as we're in the area. I guess I'm gonna go and grab this gear. And you know what? I don't think we're going to be getting Korvac this time through. Here's my Exalted stash as well, so it was definitely worth coming up here. Chest Guard of Justice. This is really good. Really, really good. So the Justice set is... I mean, it's not really for this kind of thing. But it does have flat fire damage, percent fire damage. It's got really good bonuses for this, except obviously the 4 pieces is all Force Wave and Judgment and Blitz and stuff. But the 2 and the 3 set bonus for this are really good. The armor itself is decent. So this is kind of good. I'll probably put this on at level 94. Decent upgrade. Plus 2 to Temper instead of Hellfire Mine that I'm not using. Temper is, it's okay. Some flat fizz damage that we can largely ignore. But that's a pretty good drop. And back here there's a couple chests, which as usual are probably going to give me nothing. Luminary Sidearm. So basically nothing. What does that do? Fire, cold, and lightning damage. So yeah. Not great. I don't think you can get over there, can you? No. Okay. We will continue. We can go down this way. I think we can go down this way. Yeah. And it seems the first time through here I left a decent number of heroes alive, so let's fix that. There's 93. And I think I'm going to just put points in Vindictive Flame for now. I'll worry about exactly where all the points are going later, but like I said earlier, you're not going to get any massive changes to the character with 8 skill points, so your best bet is probably to either, you know, pick up any passives you think you might need that you don't already have with 1 point, and just rely on plus skills to get them up to sort of 4 or 5. And that's pretty much how you do. Is this another one? No. Just thinking, is that another area where you can kind of run up the wall? There's a spot like that. Several spots like that, actually. One of which is just before the Vanguard of the 3. Along the chasm here, there's a part of the wall you can climb up, and there's some loot up there. So we've already killed Grimoire, so we don't have to worry about him. Looks like he's got some friends here though. Steeljaw. Take care of Steeljaw, no worries. Vault Keeper's Mark. And now we're into the fun section. So these guys can be a little painful. Probably going to be fine, but, you know, can be painful. Just checking for the treasure trove. I don't see it here, so it's probably going to be in the little camp at the end. Over this way. Which is fine, we're going this way anyway. So that's the exit to the next area. But just over here, there's a whole bunch of heroes. And various other big angry things with sword arms. And actually, I definitely see Blast Shield triggered there, so let's see if we can't maybe thin the herd out a little bit before we try going back in there. Because, as I said, I definitely saw a Blast Shield trigger there. Chosen Visage is flat fire damage to Flame Touched, which we are using. Crit damage to Flame Touch, which we are using, and Fizz Resist to Flame Touched, which we are definitely using. So Flame Touched is this one. Ordered of Caged Souls. This is also a pet item, isn't it? Yeah. Alright, so I'm probably not using that. Here's my treasure trove. This is the reason we came here. Nearly died for this treasure trove, so I better drop something nice. Not really. Was it worth it? Probably not.
That skill's
That's
not
fine,
ready.
we'll continue on here.
Yeah.
So Grimoire, if you haven't found him yet, I think he's usually south of this little overpass thing. But he'll be there somewhere. You can say hi to him. Here's the rift. And I'm actually going to end the episode here, now that I look at the time. That'll give us 45 or an hour for the next episode in which to finish Forgotten Gods and do a bit of cleanup. But that'll be all for this episode, so thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and goodbye for now.